Okay, so I'm going to be making lentil soup as part of a series of classes I'm doing on anti-inflammatory foods to help with chronic inflammation um, and autoimmune disease and things like that. So I'm going to get started. We start off with one onion. This one's kind of big, so I think I'm just going to use like half of it. And then you're going to just make a small dice out of this. What? And then you go right in here like this. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my heat to medium. Ooh. So you really don't want to rush this part. This is where all the good flavor comes from. So I'm going to saute this for quite a while until it kind of gets a little brown bitsy in it. Um, and it's so I'm not going to the point of translucent. I'm going past that. Okay, I can tell by the sound that it is the right temperature, and I'm trying to resist the urge to stir it a bunch because I want to kind of let the bottom get good contact with the hot oil so that it'll get kind of crispy and caramel colored. And you can really start to smell the caramel notes with your nose, like you can smell with something else. Of course, you smell with your nose, but try not to have like gaps like that. Try to keep like everything in an even layer, and then don't over stir. Don't stir too often. Don't rush, and don't leave. Kind of stand over here and wait. Okay, you see the brown bits. We have brown. See it? Yeah. So, okay. Now I'm going to go in. So if I would have put my seasonings in now, they'd burn because this took a while to get here, probably like 7 to 10 minutes. Um, Now I'm doing a teaspoon of tomato paste. It might be a little bit healthy. Teaspoon. And then seasonings. I have gonna measure with my heart here. Half a teaspoon turmeric, full teaspoon of paprika. Use sweet paprika. Oh, and I'm total wuss for spiciness. If you wanted to add cayenne pepper, that would be perfect. Speaking of anti-inflammatory, there's about a half a teaspoon of cumin, half teaspoon of ground coriander. Okay, I'm gonna let everything get a little toasty. Don't be afraid of a little bit of color. You see that? That's just good stuff. We'll deglaze that off the pan, off the pot in a minute. In with a teaspoon of minced garlic. I'm going to add more garlic later. And then, where's my mince? I'm going to do a teaspoon of ground mint. Hold on, I'm getting too hot. Oh no! Way too hot. This is mint from, I think it's my mom's garden. So it's got like sticks and stuff in it, but don't you worry. We're just gonna, I'll pick out the ones that are easy to pick out, but put my hands like this, go around like this, and I kind of keep my hands close together. And then at the end, you should have just sticks left in your hands. Feel like all the big parts kind of separate. Right. Time to deglaze. So I use chicken bone broth. I love bone broth. It's extra protein. It's got collagen and gelatin, amino acids, all the good. And it's about 2.5 cups. So I'm going to go ahead and add more water because it's not enough liquid. I think it ends up being like 4 cups altogether. And then I already washed my lentils, so those go in. Raise my heat a little bit. And let's add a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna eyeball it with my hands. A few rounds of black pepper. I'm stirring everything in. I'm making sure to kind of scrape the bottom a little bit. We can adjust the liquid later once the lentils have absorbed. And then I'm gonna pop the lid on. And when it comes to a boil, I'm gonna turn it down to a low simmer. Okay, so I've got about 5 minutes left on my lentil soup. So I'm going to prepare the topping. That's right, there's topping. And so I usually just do it like just a kiss of heat. You don't want to like let it boil or simmer. I do it right before I serve. So that way it'll stay really super fragrant. I'm going to take 1 clove of garlic. So remember, I already put 1 clove in. And this garlic is essentially raw. So okay. It's essentially raw, so I'm mashing it to death. Did you see? We want like a super fine, ridiculously fine mince mash. Like I can't even see it on the board anymore. And then I'm gonna take, I don't know, I'd say that's like 1/3 of a cup of cilantro. Usually I use parsley. I didn't have parsley. The reason why I use parsley is for people with the soap gene. You know, like cilantro tastes like soap to them. But all I had was cilantro. So that's what we're using. And I'm gonna mince it up pretty fine. So it's just like little pretty flecks of green. And it's amazing. Do you see how much that was to start with? And now it goes down to like 2 tablespoons, if that. So not very much. And then I'm gonna take my lemon. Thank you. And I'm going to zest my dang lemon. And then I've seen a lot of weird zesting when people are like, I don't even know if they, I don't know. This is the way I zest my I hold the fruit with one hand and then I scrape the skin with the tool. It doesn't really work well. Like, oh yeah, that's it. It's like a grater.
A microplane doesn't really work as well like that because the holes are so small and you're only taking off like the very top layer of the lemon. So I just kind of go in strips like this. So I like doing the lemon zest and the lemon juice. I like the lemon zest because it's mostly oil. So it has like a different lemon note. And then I like to add the juice for acidity. And it's also, you know, more lemon. Why not? Cool. And then I just take this, tap it in. And then this is basically ready. Like I put this in a bowl and I stir it up. And then I add it on top before. Oh, and then at the end, the juice as well. But we'll get there in a minute. Okay, so we're looking at the consistency. My stove is super hot, so I just moved it over for a second to let it calm down. And then I can look at my lentils. You can kind of tell when they're dimpled that they're cooked, or you could just like push it against the side and it mashes like potatoes. And I'm gonna taste it for seasoning a little bit. Just the juicy part. It doesn't need anything. I might need to add a little bit more liquid, but we're gonna do this next part with a stick blender. Okay, so you take your most busted your most busted ladle. I've had this, actually, I think this was my mom's and I absorbed it. Anyway, I'm just checking the consistency and it's like, you can leave it like this. This is so awesome. And like I cut the vegetables really small so that they're kind of like lentil sized, so it can all fit in the spoon together. So if you like your soup kind of brothy, you can do like that. You can blend the whole thing up, but I want the best of both worlds. So what I'm doing is this. I'm gonna take out like 2 ladlefuls like this. And then can you guess what I'm gonna do? I'm taking a stick blender and cover your ears. Okay, I was trying not to blend hot things in plastic because microplastics. But dag nabbit, it didn't work. And I don't want to use a mason jar because that also makes me nervous for different reasons. So I'm going to use the thing it came with. And I bet it's going to work like a dream. It's almost like a dip. Like I've actually put this in a bowl and then I'll take like French bread and like toast it till it's super crusty and then good. But then when you do it like this, of like thickening your soup without adding like cream or flour. So this is like dairy-free, gluten-free. If I used veggie broth, I would have been vegan. There you go. And I totally love the texture of that. It is both creamy and it still has a bite to it. It's so awesome. Okay, so I'm making this for my little friend. So this was the cilantro, lemon zest, garlic topping that we made. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm gonna give it a little olive oil. I'm gonna cover it with my finger so it's not too much. Just a few dots. And you might be thinking, girl, you added a ton of olive oil to that. Why are you adding more olive oil? Because the other olive oil was cooked. And as anyone can tell you, that when you cook a vegetable, you kind of cook out some of the nutrients. And the flavor changes too. Hot olive oil just tastes different. Fresh olive oil has that fresh fruity olive oil flavor and it has the polyphenols from the raw olives. It's really good. So now I can do this. I'm just gonna put this on the top and I'll let her stir it in. And we'd be fancy. And then a little squeeze of lemon, not too much. Okay. I'm so excited. Can I eat it? It's really hot. It's a blow. Okay. I love soup.